Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something kind of sensitive, kind of important.
Yes.
False rape accusations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you've probably seen, we've all seen
Definitely.
headlines flashing across our screens. But we're going beyond that, right?
Mm.
We're going beyond the sensationalism.
Absolutely. It's a really important discussion to have. And I think, you have to acknowledge that statistically,
Yep.
false accusations are a small percentage
Yeah.
of reported rape cases.
Right.
But the impact on those falsely accused
Yeah.
is monumental. Like, we're talking life-altering consequences.
Exactly. So 6%, at first glance, might not seem like a huge number.
Yeah.
But when you think about, the amount of the sheer volume of rape cases,
Exactly.
that's a significant number of individuals wrongly accused.
100%. And there's another layer to this, too.
Okay.
So the study also found that 45% of reports
What?
fell into a category
Okay.
labeled case did not proceed,
Okay.
meaning there wasn't enough evidence
Oh, wow.
to move forward with the prosecution,
Okay.
which could include cases later deemed false
Right.
due to inconsistencies or retractions.
So the 6% is like the tip of the iceberg.
Potentially, yeah.
Of course.
It's not about discrediting the very real experiences
Right.
of women who have faced sexual violence
Of course not.
or undermining the importance of feminist movements.
It's about,
Yeah.
whether any ideology,
Okay.
however well-intentioned,
Right.
can have these unintended consequences
Yeah.
or be taken to extremes that ultimately harm individuals.
It's about acknowledging the complexity
Yeah.
of the issue,
Yeah.
recognizing that there can be
Yeah.
a spectrum of experiences
Totally.
and motivations
Mm-hmm.
involved in both genuine and false accusations.
Yeah.
We need to be able to discuss the challenges of proof
Totally.
and the potential for both genuine and false accusations
Yeah.
without resorting to simplistic narratives or silencing those who've been harmed.
So where do we go from here?
Yeah.
How do we start to untangle this,
Right.
complicated web
Mm-hmm.
and ensure that our justice system
Yeah.
is both fair and effective?
Well, I think one crucial step is
Yeah.
to foster a more nuanced conversation
Okay.
about these issues, one that acknowledges the
Right.
potential for harm
Mm-hmm.
on both sides.
Yeah.
It's not about taking sides.
Right.
It's about understanding the complexities
Mm.
and searching for solutions
Yeah.
that uphold justice and fairness
Okay.
for everyone involved.
I completely agree.
Yeah?
And I think a big part of that is, educating ourselves
Yeah.
about the legal system.
Right.
And how it handles,
Yeah.
these incredibly sensitive cases.
For instance, this concept of burden of proof
Okay.
is central here.
Oh.
In a rape case,
Mm-hmm.
the prosecution has the responsibility
Right.
to prove beyond a reasonable doubt
Right.
that the accused committed the crime.
Yeah.
This is a high legal standard
Right.
designed to protect the innocent.
Right. A significant number
Right.
of rape complaints
Yeah.
are ultimately retracted.
Yeah.
Now, there could be many reasons for this.
Of course.
Pressure from family or friends,
Right.
fear of the legal process,
Yeah.
or even, a genuine change of heart
Right.
about how the encounter is
Mhm.
perceived.
Yeah.
But it adds another layer
It does.
of complexity
Yeah.
to the already challenging task
Of course.
of, investigating
Absolutely.
and prosecuting
Yeah.
these cases.
It certainly does.
So,
And this ties back
Yeah.
to this issue of evidence
right.
or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
Relying solely on conflicting testimonies
Right.
without sufficient physical evidence
Yeah.
can make it almost impossible to determine
Right.
what truly transpired,
Totally.
leading to a sense of uncertainty
Yeah.
and frustration
For sure.
for everyone involved.
So how do we
Yeah.
balance
Right.
the need to protect the rights of the accused with the equally important need
Yes.
to support victims
Yeah.
and ensure that their voices are heard?
It's undoubtedly a delicate balancing act.
It seems like an almost impossible task.
Yeah. And there are no easy answers.
Right.
But I think part of the solution
Okay.
lies in reforming
Oh.
the justice system itself.
Okay.
We need to explore
Mm-hmm.
alternative investigative models
Okay.
that are more trauma-informed
Right.
and take into account
Yeah.
the psychological complexities
For sure.
of both victims and the accused.
I like that trauma-informed
Yeah.
investigations.
Mhm.
It seems like that would be a
Yeah.
step towards creating a system
Totally.
that feels less adversarial
Yeah.
and more focused on uncovering the truth
Yeah.
in a way that respects the dignity of
Right.
everyone involved.
Exactly.
And I think beyond the legal system,
Mm-hmm.
there's this broader societal responsibility
Yes.
to cultivate a culture
Yeah.
where healthy relationships
Yeah.
are understood
Mhm.
and valued.
Yeah.
Like, we need to start having these open and honest conversations
Yeah.
about boundaries, respect
For sure.
from a young age.
Education is definitely key.
Yeah.
If we can equip young people
Yeah.
with the tools and knowledge they need to
Yeah.
navigate relationships
Yeah.
in a healthy and respectful way,
Right.
it could go a long way
That's-
towards preventing
Yeah.
both sexual assault
Right.
and false accusations.
And then I think it's also important
Yeah.
to address these underlying
Yeah.
sort of social and cultural factors
Absolutely.
that contribute to these problems.
For instance, certain feminist narratives,
Right.
while aimed at empowering women,
Mm-hmm.
could inadvertently perpetuate a sense of female victimhood
Okay.
or contribute to a bias against men
Okay.
in these cases.
That's a really complex,
Yeah.
controversial point.
Yeah,
But I think one worth considering
totally.
is that
Yeah.
women aren't victims
Right.
of sexual violence.
Correct.
Or that
Yeah.
the feminist movement is inherently flawed.
Right.
But rather that any ideology,
Yeah.
no matter how well-intentioned,
Of course.
can have unintended consequences
Of course.
if taken to an extreme.
Exactly.
It's about recognizing
Yeah.
that nuance and complexity
Elite.
exist
Yeah.
on both sides of this issue.
Absolutely.
We can't ignore the very real harm
Yeah.
that false accusations can inflict,
Right.
just as we can't dismiss the pain and trauma
Of course.
of those who have genuinely experienced sexual assault.
Right. It seems like finding that middle ground,
Yeah.
that space for open and honest dialogue,
Right.
where all perspectives
Right.
can be heard
Yeah.
and considered,
Yeah.
is essential
For sure.
if we want to move forward in a way that is both just
Hmm.
and compassionate.